Alrighty, welcome back. Yes, it's still your number one family radio, 92.3 Inspiration FM. And it's Nemma here on the dial. And it's time for Surviving Sickle Cell. And you know how we do it. Now, this is a show that it's a collaborative show, yes, with the Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria. And this is episode 155. The topic for today is management of sickle cell disorder in children, school children. And we had a conversation about it previously, so this is the part 2 of the conversation. And of course, we have a wonderful guest with us, not a guest, more like a family member, Mrs. Ayo Otaigbe. Yes. Now, Mrs. Ayo Otaigbe is a retired doctor of nursing, Nigeria Ports Authority, Lagos. And now she's the head of department, Genetic Counseling, Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria. She's also a lead genetic counseling trainer for counselors all over Africa. Yes. So join me as I welcome Mrs. Ayo Otaigbe. Welcome to the show, ma.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
What's your name?
Nemma. Nemma.
Mama, okay.
Okay. So let's just do a brief recap of what we talked about last week, ma. Will you give us a brief recap? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last week, I recap on what sickle cell disorder is. I said it's an inherited disorder.
Okay.
It is an inherited disorder of the hemoglobin in the red blood cell. Hemoglobin is the substance that carries oxygen from the lungs around the whole body, and oxygen gives us energy, strength. When we say it's inherited, it means that the parents pass it to their children. You inherit it from parents. It's not infectious. It's not caused by witches and wizards, and they are not, the people with sickle cell disorder are not Ogbanjes or Abikus.
Yeah.
People believe. So you are born with it, it's there, it doesn't change, it's there for life. So that was what I quickly recap about sickle cell, just to remind them that it's an inherited disorder from parents.
Okay.
And children who inherit hemoglobin genotype S from both parents, they have hemoglobin SS. And some may inherit hemoglobin S from one parent and another variant hemoglobin from the other parents, like SC. Have you ever heard of genotype SC?
SC. Yeah.
Okay. So that was last week, but today we are concentrating on the management of sickle
cell disorder in school children. Yeah.
So last week, I reminded parents, I'm still reminding them, I want them to know that sickle cell disorder does not affect the child's intelligence. So they can go to school. They are very intelligent. God has blessed them with that type of intelligence. Because school is an important part of their child's life. Although it might not go well because they have sickle cell disorder, but they are intelligent. Doesn't affect intelligence. So, and also I mentioned last week that the right thing for parents to do from the time the child starts school, whether nursery, primary, secondary, or higher institution, they need to let the school know that their child has sickle cell disorder. And parents should also include the other carers. They should discuss the illness with carers, maybe their relations or anything. In case the parents are not at home, they will know what to do for the child before taking the child to school. So it is important that the carers know about the child's hemoglobin genotype status. And if the child is experiencing difficulty in school, I also said they need to visit the school, the parents, to let the teacher know the difficulty. But a lot of them, they don't have any difficulty, but some may have. So they will go and discuss with the teacher so that the teacher will know how to help the child to overcome the difficulty. Then I also say parents should discuss with every new teacher. Don't say, I told one teacher last year, go to another class. They must inform every teacher the child gets. This child has sickle cell, this is that. And then also, because the child can miss school, when the child misses school because of crisis or anything, the parents should encourage the teacher to give homework or catch up work for the child for what he has missed during the lessons. This is very important so that he can catch up.
Okay.
And also if the child goes out of school frequently because of crisis, the parents also, it's necessary they discuss with the teachers to do extra lessons for the child in the school. There are some where they can arrange extra lessons, even if they have to pay a little bit to the teacher for the extra lessons.
Yeah.
Then the parents should note also, as I said last week, that they need to give enough water to the child to take to school.
Okay, enough water.
And they must drink, and the parents need to let the teacher know. Plead with the teacher. Tell the teacher, please encourage this child to drink water while in school, because we know dehydration or shortage of water in the body is one of the trigger factors of crisis.
Yeah.
So they need to drink a lot of water while in school. And also, people with sickle cell disorder, generally, they go to pass urine frequently because their urinary bladder cannot concentrate urine. So they go to, unlike those who don't have sickle cell disorder. So this child in the class may need to be taking permissions frequently to go and urinate, to go and pass urine in the toilet. If the teacher does not know, if the parents don't explain to the teacher may think that the child is trying to dodge or to avoid the classwork. So these are all the important things that the parents need to discuss with the child's teacher.
All right.
And I talked about physical activities or athletics. I say parents and teachers, they need to know that there is no physical activity that the child cannot participate in just because he has sickle cell disorder. They can participate. So the only problem that children with sickle cell disorder, they get tired more easily than those who don't have. But as a general rule, they should allow them, be encouraged to take part in physical activity that interest them, and allow them to set their own pace. Allow them to set their pace and not hurry like as we hurry others. They will learn to stop and rest when they become tired. So it is very important that children with sickle cell disorder are allowed the same freedoms as we do for other children. Because if the child with sickle cell disorder is constantly told, remember, you have sickle cell disorder, you cannot do this or that, that child will feel that it's an invalid. And we don't want them to think that they are invalids at all.
Yeah.
So, the other school children with sickle cell disorder, especially those in secondary schools or in the higher institution, university, polytechnic, they tolerate normal physical activities and should be allowed to participate in as many activities as possible, as this is important to their healthy physical development. I mean, psychological development.
Yeah.
They are different. If you allow them to participate. In fact, I visited one school. Okay, I will get to that when I get to swimming.
Okay. Okay.
I will talk about that.
All right.
They can take part in playground games. They must also know their limits. We are not saying they shouldn't know their limits, but they can participate in routine physical education and playground games. However, it is not advisable for them to participate in competitive sports. They don't participate in competitive sports. They are going to play house sports or anything, football. They should not take part in such. That one is too stressful. Then I talked about swimming. I said they can take part in swimming. Some schools go for swimming. If they are interested in swimming, children with sickle cell should be allowed to participate in swimming.
Yeah.
If they are interested. Or however, the parents, teachers, all of them should know that it's not advisable for them to swim in cold swimming pools, especially when the weather is very cold, like rainy Harmattan. It is not advisable. And it is not also advisable for them to swim for too long.
Okay. Yeah.
They should discover their level of endurance so that they can live happy, full, and normal lives. Some of them, they know, if I swim for 1 hour, I'm tired. Let me get out of the swimming pool.
Yeah.
They should know their level of endurance. But they must not tell them, oh, because you have sickle cell, don't swim. I had an example. This boy was in Unilag. He used to swim and dive inside the water and stay inside the water for something like divers until the thing affected him because no oxygen there. The divers have oxygen.
Yeah. Yeah.
The parents had to notify me. I had to call him, advise him, and say, even if you want to dive, don't stay too long. Just put your head in, come out immediately. If you say, I didn't want him to say, well, if not that I'm sickle cell, I'm a person with sickle cell now, I wouldn't have been told not to dive. I just say, do it small and come out. But not too much. Oxygen. So they can swim, but they must know their level of endurance.
Yeah.
Some children with sickle cell disorder, they may be small for age, not all of them. And other classmates may be teasing them in the school. You smally.
Yeah.
But the parents can visit the school, tell the teacher, please, this thing is affecting my child psychologically. He doesn't even want to come to school because they are teasing him. So they can center the discussion with the class on how we should respect our differences.
Yes, I agree with you on that. I knew someone in my primary school that she's a sickle cell survivor, and she was really small, and a lot of people always picked on her. But of course, we had a sensitization program on that, like anti-bullying and all of that, and I guess it stopped, but it was really hard for her. So I can actually relate on the level of, the bullying and the teasing of a person because they look smaller. Yeah. Yeah.
But most of them, by the time they attain, they are teenagers, they attain that age, most of them grow to meet up with their age mates. That's a good thing about it, except those who have inherited short stature. But when they are age 6, 5, they are so small. By the time they are 15, 14, they become tall.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when some are naturally short, there's nothing somebody can do about that. Okay.
Yeah.
So all the school children have also said, whether they are in primary or secondary or university, the parents and guardians should encourage these children with sickle cell disorder to maintain good school attendance, since there may be times when they will not be able to go to school. So when they are well, they should maintain good school attendance. They should not also neglect their schoolwork, but try to stay ahead of the class. They must read ahead, read every day. Don't wait until exam time before they start reading. And they can ask teacher for upcoming assignments. When they wait till exam time, like exam is 2 weeks time, they start reading. Before you know it, they will not eat well, they will not sleep well, then they will not break down head. They will say, oh, it's sickle cell disorder. It's not. If they plan their study well, read ahead of time, read every day, study every day. By the time exam comes, they have a broad knowledge of what they are going to do in the exam. So it's also good for them to know this.
Yeah.
Then it will also tell parents, encourage the children. They should not use sickle cell disorder as an excuse for failure to perform to the best of their ability in the school. So parents should always encourage them. You will do well. Go to school, study your book. Ideally, schools for children with sickle cell disorder should not be too far from their homes in order to avoid too much stress. If it's far from home, especially primary, they trek. There are some cannot afford bus fare for their children. I've seen them. Some of the things I'm saying is through experience and not reading them from books.
Yeah.
So the school should be close to where they live, to their home, in order to avoid too much stress. Then I'm going to boarding schools. I said it's not advisable for parents to send children with sickle cell disorder to boarding schools that are too far away from their homes. It's not good. You are here in Lagos. You send a child to boarding house in Abuja, in Enugu. It's not advisable. If anything is happening before you get there, it may be too late. So it's advisable. They are in the boarding house that are close to their home. So the child's teacher and boarding house, whether master or mistress, need to be informed by the parents that their child has sickle cell disorder. They also need to inform the boarding house master or mistress that this child with sickle cell disorder cannot take his bath with cold water. They need to supply the boy with hot water. I said lastly, there is one of our doctors, retired doctor, is a grandmother now, 70 years old.
Yeah.
He used to tell us how the mother used to come and beg when he comes for visiting, beg the house mistress, house master, please give my daughter hot water to bath. He cannot bath with cold water because it will trigger off crisis. And he said if the mother is coming for visiting, we bring little gifts to thank them. So parents can also do that. Look at her today now. She's a retired doctor. She's a grandmother. She's 70 years old.
Wow.
So, so parents can also do that when their children are in the boarding house. The child must make sure, too, he takes all his routine medications regularly. They should carry all their drugs they take every day as prescribed. They must be taking it.
Yeah. So,
and when he or she has crisis, when he or she has crisis, he should report promptly to the clinic. He should not wait until he cannot breathe well again or he can't move at all before he will. He can even tell the roommates, I don't know how I'm feeling, can you accompany me to the school clinic? He should report promptly. Then it is advisable for parents to let the teacher, boarding house master or mistress know that if their teacher is if their child is having crisis that cannot be managed by the school clinic, the parents should be informed immediately so that they can go to the school and take the child to see the specialist, doctors that are specialized in looking after people with sickle cell disorder. That's the hematology. There are pediatric hematology, there are adult hematology. So if they do this, it will not be that by the time they bring the child from school, it was too late. I've seen some like that. Too late. I don't want to mention the bad result that happened.
Wow. You mentioned something about boarding school. So do you advise that parents should, send their sickle cell survivor children to boarding school? Do you advise that? Or do you say, better the person or the child, is just a day student? What's your take on that?
Some parents now, they can say, they're always traveling, they are not at home, they're taking the child to school every day, it's not convenient for them.
Yeah.
For them to be in the boarding house. But you see, majority of them, the children are, some of them are going they are day students. But some, they still send them to boarding school. So what do we do? So we just give them all these tips. And we encourage them to visit regularly. To make phone calls. To reach out to the boarding house mistress or master. How is my child coping? How is everything with the child? But if you can help it, they can be going from home. It will be better.
Yeah.
If you can help it, they can be. If you're in Lagos here, the child can be in school in Lagos here, even if it's boarding. It's better than sending the child far away. But I think no matter what you say, some parents will tell you they can't be taking the child to school every day. They are not available. Today they are in England, tomorrow they are in America.
Yeah, which is true. Yeah, some parents are really busy. Yeah.
So it happens. That's it. But when this is how we counsel them. Visit, call the school, check the child, how the child is doing. If you are around, visit the child regularly on visiting days. And the child should also, it's important that the child maintain good personal hygiene. And if she's at home, you can supervise the child in all this. But if it's in school, only it should maintain personal hygiene and it should take balanced diet. That is possible in boarding house.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. If it's boarding house abroad, I know they feed them well. Everywhere is clean and all that.
All right, Mrs. Ayo Otaigbe, thank you so much. This was a very...
Let me finish now.
We've run out of time.
I will have the next few points.
Oh, wow. Okay. We have 1 minute.
Outdoor activities, what I have to say about outdoor activities, if they must do outdoor activities, should not be inside the hot sun.
Okay.
Or the rain, when it is raining, because these are trigger factors of crisis. So, and activities too that say standing in the sun for too long and competitive sports, they are not to take part in that. Parents should they can go to the doctor of the child and take letter from the doctor looking after the child, stating the hemoglobin genotype status, take to the school that these are the things the child should be exempted from. And come to us for letters from the doctor looking after the child for letter. And then punishment for children in school with sickle cell disorder. Now, we don't say they shouldn't discipline them, but the disciplinary measure should not be the one that will affect the child's health. I know some years ago, 2 children were flogged in the school very severely. And that means they ended up on admission. It landed them on admission.
Wow.
It has affected the child, the children's head adversely. It was not a small thing, and the parents did not like it at all. We are not saying they shouldn't discipline them, but everything must be in moderation.
Moderation, yeah.
When you want to punish them, there are many ways that the teacher can follow. It's only God that saved those 2 children. They would have lost their lives. And the flogging was too much. And then we give them career counseling when they want to enter higher institutions. They should take courses that are compatible for their hemoglobin genotype status. They can be accountant, they can do law, they can do mass comm, to mention a few, but not like agri. I know some who were told to withdraw 300 level because they couldn't cope with the practicals. Any course that have rigorous practicals, it's not advisable they go into it in the university or polytechnic.
All right.
When withdraw 300 level, you know what that one means?
Yes.
It affected the person. It affected that person psychologically.
Oh, wow.
So we also do career counseling for them. And one time he wanted to do mining. Can you imagine?
Wow.
He had to go and change it to computer science. That was his second choice.
Yeah.
So he entered he passed JAMB very well. So he now entered to do computer science. If you had entered mining, will you go to the rigs and be mining crude oil?
Yeah.
How would it have been?
Okay, Mrs. Ayo Otaigbe, thank you so much for enlightening us this morning. Mrs. Ayo Otaigbe is a retired doctor of nursing, Nigeria Port Authority, and she is now the head of department, Genetic Counseling, Sickle Cell Foundation of Nigeria. And today we'll be discussing management of sickle cell disorder in school children. I hope you learned a thing or two, because I definitely did. And now we are wrapping up on the Saturday Breakfast Jam. Yes, we're signing out now. Nema and Kolade,